Hello friends and everyone, you're welcome back to Netcode-Hub channel. I am Frederick, as you know already, and I'm happy to meet you today in this another episode of our e-commerce Blazor WebAssembly app. In this video, we are going to look at how to display product based on category selected. In our last video, we were able to display a category as you see on the screen. Now, if I click on each of the categories, I must have the product related to each category displayed on the screen. That is what we're going to have a look in this video. So please, you can do any of the following to support this channel whilst you also watch our videos. You can just subscribe and also hit on that notification bell so you never miss out any of our upcoming content. You can also like this video by clicking on the thumbs up icon. And if you are interested or if you like this video too much, you can also buy me coffee, a hot one. And if you want to do that, please check the video description. A link has been provided. Thank you in advance for selecting any of these. And you know, I will love you so much if you're able to do all. Okay, I do offer training sessions for those people who are interested in .NET technologies, talking about Blazor, which comprise of the Blazor 7 and Blazor WebAssembly for web app development, .NET MARI and MARI Blazor Hybrid for mobile and desktop development, and you have .NET Web API for web services. So if you're interested, you can write to me through an email specified in the video description. Alright, so let's jump into this, and this is going to be a part 7 of the e-commerce series. So if you haven't watched any of them, please check the video description. I'll put them here. And I suggest you watch them one after the another. If you have any comment or any issue, to put it at the comment section and I'll attend it to you. Alright. If you have any additional to, please let me know as well. Okay, so in the last video, we were able to create this category. As you can see, we have four categories here. And we were able to implement this select to get it activated. But if I click on this, now I must be able to retrieve all data related to this particular category. And that is what we're going to have a look today. So let me close this up. And now this is the code that we use. So I'm going to close everything and we're going to create a component, and this is going to be a product list component. So close all. So click on Solution Explorer. Now you can see from our pages folder, you can see we have category pages, we have other pages, and we have product pages. Right click on the product pages and let's add one component, and it's going to be product list page. Okay. So product list page. Now within this component, this is what you want to have. It's going to be a parameter where you're going to accept a list of products. So it's just going to accept a list of products. After that, it's going to loop through and display it on the screen. This is a very simple thing that we are doing in here. Okay, we are not adding any event callback yet. So here, user can see buttons such as add to cart, share, like, but user cannot click, and now it's not going to work, because you're not going to implement anything. We're going to just display the product as it is. So let's close this, and you can close this and open it again to get rid of that's a black and white, isn't it? I hate that so much. I want to see this. Okay, so in here we want to just have a loop through this, and now you want to create just a div class that's going to be a card. So you can see it's a container fluid, and here we having what, a row. So with this row, we have this class as featured filter. Now we are looping through this and we are creating this class. You know, it's a column LG2, or in case it is a medium, make it 3. In case it is small, make it 6. But that's success, and we are creating this. So inside here, we are passing an image with a width of 150 and a height of 200. And now we have this as a hovered items. So as you can see for this, we have the FF height, and this is going to be the, I said height or heart. So I love it. You can click on this to love the product. You can tweet it, or you can retweet. Maybe you can send it to, that is Twitter to, maybe you can just do something else with it. Okay. And here we can also add it to cart. What you're going to focus here mostly is the first one, that's the heart. You can just click to like it, and you can also click this to add to cart. That is what you're going to focus most. From the middle one, I'll leave it up to you, but maybe the next time I'm going to have a look. We have a video done on that, how to also, maybe if you want to put something else on that, to maybe a Twitter or etc., you can also do that as well. And now we have the featured item text, which is going to be displayed at the bottom. We have the item name, we have the item price. Since it is decimal, you can see we can able to format this into a string and specify our currency and also the format that we want, dot. So that's going to be dot. That's going to be the string format for that. All right. So this is all that we need. So the next thing to do here is we are going to use this category or this component inside the main or the product list home page. So in here, we have to use the category in here. So we can provide product list page, and now we can close this up. Okay, so that here we having it, we are taking 2 and now we add the next 10, making 12, and that's going to be the full row of a page. But there's a class attached to this, and that's a CSS class. Okay, so with this class, this is what I'm going to do. We can start this class one after another. So I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it in here. Maybe when you check the GitHub repo, this class will be available. But that's what you're going to do. You're going to create a class attached to this. If you don't know how to create a CSS class, right click on the same this folder, click on add, and now maybe new item. And in here, you're going to select style. So this is a style. Now the name of the component here must be the same as the component name. Now instead of .razor, I'm going to make it .razor.css. As you can see from this, it is .razor.css, and that is the CSS isolation. So this CSS is going to load as soon as this page is being loaded into the screen. Okay, so click on and add it. And now when we add it, the CSS that we have all this CSS, and that is what we are using. Actually, we want to hover. As you can see, we have some hover text in here, and that is all that we are using in here. So I'll leave this under the video description, so you can just clean it from the GitHub. We're going to have this CSS as well. Okay. So the next thing that we need here is when you check this, we need to provide a product list. Saying this has a parameter known as a product, or product. So we need to provide this list here, so this product can render the product in the page that we created. So to do that, we have subscribed to this, and we are calling this load data. And on this load data, it is loading, or it's calling this product service and get all product, setting that feature to false, meaning getting the entire product. So in here, what we can do is we're going to have access to the product list. Then let's provide the all categories or all products. So there's we've cached this into the service that we created. So once we provide this as product, so all products here, we specify the product service dot all products, because as soon as the page loads and we call this method is going to call the get all product, which will retrieve the data from database and now cache it into this all product, so we can use this in here. All right, so now this is what we have. Let's try to run this application and see the product list that we have. So now the page is ready. So let's click on this, and I believe, okay, so it must be /product. And now we must have the list of products being displayed alongside with the category. All right, so the page is now loaded, and as you can see, if I hover the mouse on, you can see we have these icons, and that is the add to cart. We have this, that's a retweet, and this is the love. So currently, if I click on the, nothing happens because we have not implemented any. So let's see. But we have this icon here. As soon as you hover the mouse on, you can see you can have this. All right. So now we have this. The next thing we're going to do here is if I click on each category, what should happen? I want to retrieve the items in here, right? So we have 4 categories here. So we're going to set each to 1. So we're going to have 3. And we're going to use, after that, you're going to add the real product ourselves, and I'm going to see it live. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so in here, I would like to put this in a div. So maybe I'll have this card set up over here. Let's close this up. And where we have our product list home page, maybe here, I can just have this div class. And now this is a class that you want to. So let's close this. So let's see, we have to close one. Okay, so we have this set and this one, and we have to div. Okay, so we have just a card header and there's nothing here, but we have this border success as subtle. So this is just a color that you want to surround it with this. Okay, so we have MB as 2 to just space the bottom to 2. So in here with the all product that we are providing, you can see currently defaultly when the page loads, we are providing all products. But in case we click on category and now we get product. So in this case, this product by category list is going to have the current list by product. So what we can do here is we want to check if this product or product is null. Then we want to use this product service dot, then here product by category. So we're gonna have this product by category. So anytime this product service is null, then we want to use this product by category. Okay, so Control K D, we can format this well. Okay, so let's save that. But I'm sure that this should come here. So instead of this, we should, because this is going to be changing all the time. So if this is null, that is where we want to use this product service dot all product. So this is how you want it to be done. So in case, as soon as I click on this category event clicked, and now we get passing the ID. And now we set, this method is going to set the values or the list of products into this list that has been cached in there. So as soon as this list has data, then it's going to switch up to this, and we're going to loop through this and display it on the screen. But in case this list here is null, then we're going to use the default one, that is the all product. So we can save this. So let's click on the SQL Server object. Now in a category, let's open a category view data. Let's also open the product queue as view data as well. Now let's see, from that category table, we have the ID of 2, 3, and 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see from the product. We have 2, 3, and 4. So we have category. So maybe it is 1. We can set this to 2, and we can set this to 3. And maybe you can copy 1. And now we can paste. Well, can we paste this? Okay. So you can paste it as 5. And now this, we set this to 4. So let's save this. So this means that if I click on all, I'm going to get all products. If I click on individual category, I'm going to have 1 for each. Now let's run this again and now check it out. So let's navigate to the product list. Okay, so we have 4 products in here. Now that is for all. If I click on Apple, you can say I have only 1 product. If I click on Samsung, I have 1 product. If I click on Oppo, I have 1 product. If I click on Nokia, there's no product in here. So this has no product, but why is it that we're seeing? Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 for each. So this is this. We have this, and we have that. Okay, if I click on all, then it's going to set them to null. That is the product by category. We're going to set it to null, and therefore, if it is null, then we're going to use all products, and we have this. So a category has been implemented, and it is now working. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go offline, and try to add products. We can add product from this section. We have categories added and we have our product. So this is a product that we have, right? So this is what I'm going to do with this is add product. So that is add product. So I'm going to go offline and I'm going to add multiple products here with their images, and I'll come back so we can see this up live. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, so that is the list that you can see. So I've added some categories over here, and I have also added some products, and that is it, what you see from this. When we click on this home page, nothing happens here. The reason is we have not set any product as featured. So quickly, let's go back to our database, and maybe from our product section, if I refresh this, I'm going to have the whole list of products that have been added into the database. Now let's try to set all of them featured as true so we can display them in there. So let's set this to true. Okay, and then the last one here. So when you save this, and let's try to reload this page, and we're going to see 5 of these featured products being displayed here. And we're going to see the same list of these featured products displayed beneath here as the featured products. Let's wait for this to get loaded. Okay, so that is a list that we have from here, and when we still navigate to the product, you're gonna see all the products in the product page. Okay, so let's click on this. Now if I click on this category, it has no data. Click on the Samsung and it has this data. If I click on the Vivo, nothing happens. As soon as I click on the Apple, it has this data in here. So you can see that the app does not get reloaded, and there's no call made. If I could see from here, there's no even route specified. Click on the all, no route specified. Right click on this. Let's go to inspect element. And now let's see in here, click on the network tab. So if I click on Samsung, let's see what's going to happen here. You can see with the Samsung, nothing happens. Click on the Apple, and I can see from here, we are just retrieving the data, but we are not having any call from an API because it is coming from the memory cache. As you can see from here, it is coming in from a memory or a cache data inside the application already. So we've able to achieve what we wanted to do. Yeah, so we have this, and that is it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about here is we want to have some card on top here. Now this card may display 2 products randomly picked from the featured product, and that's going to be displayed on here. So let's quickly go to the application. Let's minimize this, and in here, maybe you can create banner. Okay, let me make it as a banner. We're going to display 2 random products. So we can put this inside this product folder. So let's see, I'm going to open this, right click on the product pages. Let's add a new Razor component, and the name of this is going to be banner page. So within this page, we want to just have maybe 2. Yes. So get all products. When the page loads, we want to call this method. So maybe as soon as the page loads, we want to call this method, and this method must come in the code section. So at code, then let's paste in this. Okay, so featured product is equal to true. So you want to grab all featured products in here. Now we have to subscribe to, and also that is when it changes, you also want to change this, or maybe we can also do that. So let's have this as override, then uninitialize async. So override async, then there's going to be a task. So uninitialize async, then it must be protected. So in here, we're gonna have product service dot. So you're not having a pop-up, right? So let me close this and reopen it again. So from this banner, where is it? Okay. So we have this. Now product service dot. Now we have product action. And we say plus equal to state has changed. So you're gonna have state has changed. Now we do the same thing. Even the page is initialized already, so I didn't see that. Okay, so I just have to grab this and now paste it here. Okay, and let me just remove this from the top here. And now when the page is discarding, so public void, then we have this post. You can copy the same thing, and now you make sure we attach it before it dies up. Let's implement iDisposable in here. Okay, now we want to just have a container and now maybe some 2 divs. So let's check if featured product is not null. Then we want to grab 2. So we check if product or featured product is not null. Because here, we set this feature to true, and then we are calling this service, which will load and populate the data into this featured list that we have. So we are saying that if this is not equal to null, then we want to run this. We want to get random numbers, so random products. So we have banner 1, banner 2. We specify banner 1 to this, and then the banner 2 also to this. So we have 2 data or 2 divs. Now each div is going to randomly pick a product anytime the page is being loaded or being rendered. So we're going to have multiple pages, multiple product displayed anytime the user navigates to that, because it's an advert that you want to do. We want to portray your user to buy. So we have to randomize the products. We have to pick them randomly and to display them. Okay, so they want to make it as static. So that's what we are doing. But before we do this, we have to create a class in a method in this service, and the name is supposed to be get random product. So let's do that. Let's go to the service. So we go to the product service. So iProduct service, and now inside this iProduct service, we are going to specify a method and which is going to return just a product. So here we say that product and get random product. So let's implement this interface. We can do that from the client service. Now let's control period to this iProduct service and let's implement the interface. Okay, so implement it, and we have the interface specified in here. I think they're down here, so I'm going to grab this. And now let's go up because it's a product type. So I'll put it to this as a product type, and that's a get random product. So in here, to get random product, we can just use random. So you can see here, I don't want to have this method twice. So let me remove one. Okay. So as you can see, we check if featured product is null, then want to return because it's a feature that you want to pick data from. Now, if the list here is null, it means you cannot pick any data, so you have to return it. Now, if it has data, then you can see we are creating a random number. We create an instance, and now here we have to specify the minimum and the maximum. Now, that's what we are doing. The minimum here, we're going to find the minimum ID of this featured product. And now with the maximum, you find the maximum ID of this featured product. By what random does is you're going to pick from the minimum and a number which is lesser than the maximum. So the maximum number, that is the last ID here, won't be picked because it's the maximum number. That's why we are adding 1. So the addition of 1, you're going to make it at maximum, and you're going to pick below that, which is going to include the next number of the maximum number of this product. So once you have this, then we are generating it, as you can see, from the next. So it is picking from the minimum and from the maximum. In between of these, you're going to pick any of them and return it the results you can see. So the number that's going to pick, we want to check from the featured list, and I'll pick that number, check to the ID, and I retrieve it and return it to you as a product. So anytime that you call this product instance, it's going to get us a random product. And that is exactly what we are doing in the banner section. So we've called it twice. The first one get us a new product. You can also get us a new product. Now, when it comes to the description, maybe you would like to shorten the description. You don't want to display the whole description message or info over there. So remember that we did this somewhere else. When you go to the products, let's see, that is the front page. I think we made that in there. So front page, that is the carousel. You can see that down here we created, so that's the get description. So let's cut this up. Okay, save this. Let's go to the general, and this is going to be a general class, and in here let's paste this. Let's make it a static, and we have to make this as public. Okay, so public static is returning a string. It is accepting a list of a text and description, and we append dots here. And I think I've explained this long time already, so that's what we are doing. Now we can even modify this. Let's see, you can use a substring. As you can see, use range operator. We can hold a lot, but let's maintain what we have. Okay, we want to maintain this. Now when you go back to this front page, then you're going to have an error in here. So what we're going to do here is let's add the general. That's going to be the class to it. So we're going to say general dot, and now this is now solved. So when we go back to the banner page, we can also use the same class in there. Remember that you don't need to repeat yourself all the time. So using the same class, then you pass in the description, and this also you pass in the description. So if the description text is more than 100, you're going to shortcut it and now append 3 dots to it. And that's what we are doing. So anytime that this page is reloaded, it's going to have a new data set in here. Okay, so now let's see. Let's go to our product list home page, and now on top here we can add our banner. Okay, so after this, because here it is a LG10, so we want to add this banner page, and now let's save this, and now let's refresh the application and see what we have. So the app is ready. Now let's navigate to the product section. So this is the product. Yeah, so now we got it. Now you can see we have this beautiful banner displayed over here. Now you see this is a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3, and we have Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max, right? Now let's see if I click on this, I can see I have a new one set. As you can see, this is a new one. This is the new one. Click on this, and maybe you could say I have a new one. So it keeps changing. If I go to the home page and I return back again, let's see. But while it changes, it doesn't get from an API. It only gets from the data, that is the internal data, the cache data. And it is making this app more and it's increasing the performance. Let me put it in that way. It is increasing the performance of the, you see we have a new one, Samsung W2017, and we have the same thing in here. Okay, so these also are suggesting the type of phone that the person can get, and we can actually add that. Now the last one left here, it is we want to display a banner down here. Maybe that could be a recommended product. So if I click on recommended product, maybe I'm going to have this going to a slideshow will tells you that this product have been recommended. Maybe you can create a separate model to handle that. But in this case, I'm going to use the featured product, and I'm going to display them there as a recommended product to the user. All right. So let's see how to also do that. Let me bring this video to an end. So let's close this. Okay, so let's close this, and in here we can close all of this because we are done with each of them. Close all this. Now let's go to solution, and now in the same product, right click on this. Let's click on add a new component, and at this time we're going to say is a recommended page. So this page, this is what we are going to do. Let me just have just a simple code that we are going to be using. Let me just grab the code in here. And if you check this code, we are creating a list of this featured product. So let me save this. Let me close this, and I'll open it again so we can get rid of that black and white. So recommended product. So you know that here when the page loads, we are subscribing to this. And here you can see we have this. We create an instance of this, a list of products. Then we cache it in here. So we create a container, we initialize to new. When the page initializes, we want to grab all featured products. So we call this in case this product, the featured product list has no data. We call this, and it's going to make a API call and now cache data for the whole application to use. If you have data in it, then we're going to say this list that we have here, we're going to assign the list of this product, featured product, to the list in here. Then we are going to call this method as populate. What is it going to do? Here, you can see that it's going to populate this. We are creating a dictionary here because we want to group the list. So we want to pick maybe 6 at a time and now group them. So you see we are creating a dictionary. The key here, it is an integer, and then the value here is a list of products. And I will give it as recommended or recommend carousel group products. So here we get end item per view. So on a line like this, how many items do you want to display? That is 6. Let's find the total product. So we get the product service.featuredproduct.count. So we want to get the whole product that we have to display in there. Aside from that, we want to find a number of groups. So we divide the total product here by the item view, that is a 6, to know the number of groups in there. Now we have an initial value of a start number, and we have skip. So start number, it is 1, and our skip is 0. So we are saying that if start number, or if the number of groups, it is less than or equal to 0, meaning here there's no product, because if I have total product and divide by this 6, I must have more than that, right? So we want to say if it is equal to 0 or less than that, then return. If not, we're going to use a while loop to group this. So while start number, that is a 1, it is less than or equal to number of groups. So there's the number of groups here. So maybe when you have 12, 12 divided by 6 is going to have 2. Start number is 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 2. Yes. So it's going to loop twice. And now when it loops twice, you're going to skip this. The current skip is 0. And now what is the current item to take? That is a 6. And the next one after taking this is going to add this to this dictionary, which comprises of the start number, that is an ID or the key. And the value here, it is a list of products. We increase the skip, and also we increase the start number. So it's going to also loop again, and it's going to also add it. So we're going to have a key and the value. Key is going to be the integer, and then the value is going to be a list of products. Now, once we have this, we want to loop through this. So we don't need this post. So we want to loop through this. So how do we loop through? We are going to use the carousel that we installed from the SYNCFUSION that we use in our front component. And in that, we are going to customize ourselves so we can have this feature in it, okay? Because that default one does not have this list. It has only one product display at a time. We want to display 6 at a time. So let's see what we're going to do. But before we do that, I suggest we also, so before we populate this, we must have this product already. So I believe we have to include, the dispose. So here, because definitely when product is being added, this must also get changed. So we have to subscribe to this. And now we have to implement maybe the iDisposable on top. So here, let's implement it here. Okay, so that is this one. And now with the markup, maybe we can use container fluid, and now we're gonna have this style also attached to. Very simple one. And when you check this, we're checking if featured product is not null. That is where you want to run this. We have a container fluid, and that is a row. We are using the card, and this is an SF carousel as we used previously. We have visible on hover. That is a button, and we have all these tabs in here. We've done this already in the feature. That's the first or the second. That is the second video. Now we are looping through this dictionary. Okay, and now here the first one is the key. So once you have the key, we're also looping through the key. That is the item dictionary over here. And now this key has its value, which is a list of products. So we loop through, we create a card, that's the column LG2. Then we display the 6 in here at the time. And so while this finishes the looping, it is also going to loop until the items in here finish it. So the item here, it is, I think, how many items do we have? We have 2 items here. So until these 2 items finish, it will still keep looping through. And it's going to have a group of groups. Okay, a group of groups, and that's what we did. So when it's just a customized one that we are doing to achieve what we want. Okay, and that is so you can see it's the same thing that we have been doing. But don't worry, I also put this on GitHub, so you can also go in there and grab this as well. Okay. Now, once you have this set, let's save this, and now let's go and use this component in the product list home page. So this is the product list home page. So once you come here at the end of this, you want to replace it, or you want to just continue with this. It is an LG12, meaning you're going to take the whole row. Then we have this card on top, and we have this recommended page. So if I save this, and now let's try to run this application and see what we have now. Okay, so let's navigate to our product. And now you must see this recommended product, and that is what we have here. We have recommended section down here. Now let's wait for the list to pop up. So down here, and now let's see. Good, so we have it set. Now you can see we have the recommended product, and now we have the name of the item. We have the description. You can see we are having this append dot. When the text here is more than 100, we can do that. Maybe you can shortcut this, maybe 60 or 70, etc. But maybe you can do that yourself, and I believe so. I trust you can make it. So we have 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 items per view. If I click on this, you see I have the next batch as 6. So this I recommended product that the user can click on any. For now, if I click on this, nothing happens. Okay, we haven't added anything yet. So maybe in a later video, you're gonna see if I click on this, I can just view the item in here, and now I can click on add to cart, or I can click on return and etc. to do that. All right, so that is what we want to do today. I believe this is clear. I'll leave this at the source code. No, I'll leave the source code at the GitHub, so please do check it out there. If you're interested in this and want to support this channel, want to support especially this project, please, and want to buy me coffee to support it, I'll be very happy to accept it. And thank you in advance for doing that. Okay, check the description and have a link over there. You can also do it from there. Okay, so for now, I think I'm not going to continue this anymore. Let's end here, and we're going to talk about adding this product to cart. Maybe next I'll view details of each product in the next video. That's going to be part 8. I think so. All right, so thank you. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch you up in the next video.